I paddleboard frequently. Also recently got a boat and have a boat docked right out in front. But I've also, as I mentioned earlier, enjoyed kind of the social aspects of City View in particular, and now the community, and really trying to do activities and bring people together as a part of living here.
My wife and I have a boat, so we're on the river quite often. We see people that are paddleboarding. We see people that are kayaking. We see a lot of folks coming up and down the river, either in boats or paddleboards or whatever, that are not part of the neighborhood. They're just putting it in another location, but they're exploring the river area. We see a lot of folks walking. The sidewalks are there.
Well, while we don't have any pets at the moment, we do see a lot of dog walkers. We see boats on the water. We see people walking into town across the bridge. We see the trains. We see the riverboat. We see the Princess, and it just seems like there's always something going on. I can sit out on my balcony and just enjoy the afternoon watching who's going by and what's happening.
We see people that are just coming from other parts of the country, and they'll just park their car and they'll walk out and they'll be on the river walk and just looking at the stadium and the river and that sort of thing. Or people that are looking at the possibility of moving here, well, they'll stop you. Stop me. I mean, I've talked to I don't know how many people when I was walking my dogs.
I see a lot of dog walkers. I see people walking for exercise or running for exercise. I see kids out skateboarding, people swimming, and people grilling out. A lot of people on the water in their boats, so skiers, and then also the UT rowing team is a lot of fun to watch.
Neighbors and I attended a 12-week-long class, weekly meetings about how to get involved in your neighborhood. And as a result, we've applied for and received a grant from the city of Knoxville, and we're using that grant to build a butterfly garden. And so on sunny weekends, we have begun digging and creating beds to plant butterfly-friendly plants. And we have seen quite a bit of involvement by our neighbors. The young people, the UT students next door are getting involved. Some of our retired neighbors, people contributing their labor, but also their tools, getting our hands a little dirty, while also enjoying camaraderie and just having a good time doing something positive outside of ourselves and for the greater community.
Well, there's definitely the individual activities. We see people running, we see people walking their dogs, we see people boating and kayaking and paddleboarding in the summer months. And then there's the organized activities. The socials are becoming much more widely attended. I think the word is getting out that we actually have some fun people that live here. And so people are enjoying getting together and spending time together. Building the butterfly garden has been wonderful, and I really am excited to see the shape that takes. And I hope that we're going to incorporate some more activities. I'd love to see us do some group fitness activities, like perhaps a yoga class on the wonderful terrace that we have, or out by the river.
People gathering in our club room and enjoying talking, catching up on what people have been doing, and foods that are brought in. And we do have door prizes too, so it's involved a lot of people.
I myself, I love to work out, and so I've got a track that I do about 2.5 blocks around the building where I'll run, do some body weight exercises, that kind of stuff. I see people doing that all the time. We run downtown, or we'll walk downtown.
As we spread out to our South Waterfront neighborhood and had the 303 Flats residents join us in just doing things. We've been able to have a few activities with them. We've also started a butterfly habitat that we will be completing this spring, and that's involved quite a few people in the neighborhood.
We have a lot of greenways. People walk, people bike, people exercise. We have a lot of musical venues within walking distance, whether it's a live band or whether it's a jazz concert on a Sunday brunch, or whether it's a big show at Thompson Bowling Arena. There's incredible diversity, nightlife, festivals, and also there's a quiet walk or a concert with thousands of people.
I think there are a lot of dog lovers here. You see a lot of people come down to walk their dogs, exercise. The river offers a very unique opportunity here for people to boat. You see people on paddle boards, kayaks. You get to watch the row team. So it's just very unique, something you don't get anywhere else in Knoxville.
There's other things going on too. There's social events, neighborhood association events that we get together every, I think it's bi-monthly or something like that. We'll have a social gathering involving food and just meeting new people, et cetera, and so forth. It just seems like there's a lot of activities here that really appeal to me.
The socials that we have here in our building, and although those are organized, a lot of times neighbors will just get together down here to watch a football game or some game on TV. Everybody brings an appetizer or a dessert, and we share, and you can bring a glass of wine or a drink if you want or not, and we socialize and just get caught up with each other's lives, and it's a lot of fun to do that.
Certainly walking is one of the dominant activities, and this is a great place to walk. I think probably for me, the accessibility of bicycling to Suttree Landing, for example, or to Island Home, or to Imes, as well as to downtown. The activities in the City View environs specifically.
I know that there's monthly meetings with the SWFT Association. 303 Flats has like Wine Wednesdays every other Wednesday. There's a food truck out today.
I would love to see group fitness classes and group art classes, maybe some things that are cultural in nature. We could probably get with the extension service at the University of Tennessee and get some teachers over here to do some of those things. If I had the time, I'd go take some yoga instructor training myself, but that's going to have to wait a little while.
We have board meetings every quarter where we discuss what's going on in the last quarter, what we plan to do in the future. Most of the work gets done in between things like building the butterfly garden, attending other community meetings, whether it's Chapman Highway improvement, working with the city council. These are all things that we do to get involved and then bring that information back to our neighbors and then get input from our neighbors what they would like to see. And we're acting on those things. We put out surveys, and that's where the butterfly garden came from. It's certainly not something I thought of. It's what the neighbors voted on. Our South Side Waterfront Neighborhood Association, SWFT, SWFT, puts out a newsletter, and it's much more than just a newsletter. It's an avenue of communication. Neighbors contribute stories. Some of them are photographs, some of them are articles, some of them are just things of interest that they have done in the past weeks or months.
I'd like to see maybe more with the river activities. Maybe we have a paddleboard night or something like that, or we just go out on the boats, you know, people that have them, and kind of hang around, do those kind of things. That'd be fun. Maybe it's cycling once we get the greenway through and completed more. So maybe we plan on some kind of bike ride occasionally, something like that. Or it could be just a walk, or just some kind of organized thing like that would be kind of cool.
We have a vegetable garden and flower garden in the old city, and that's great. It prompts me to as I did yesterday, to walk over to the old city, and we're still reaping harvest this winter, so that's an enjoyable part of our lifestyle. I would like to see a similar kind of community garden here. I think it has potential. It certainly creates community there. We often meet with other folks who have community gardens there for socials and so forth. So it would be, I think, an enhancement to the neighborhood here. I've talked with some folks who agree that they would like to participate if there were a community garden space. It also puts fresh vegetables on the table, which is an important benefit of getting close to the earth.
Probably cleanup. I know that that's very important. It's just like going outside, beautifying our community, and making sure that the trash is picked up. Waste is like thrown away. We recycle things. I think that's what I would really like to see.
I work out in the fitness center, but there is an appeal to having an opportunity to engage in fitness more naturally, and of course walking is one of the chief ways to do that. But I think exercise, outdoor exercise equipment that is spotted along the Riverwalk might be a very nice addition to our environment.